Okay. Hello everyone. I'm Manic, and as you can see, I don't own any curtains, so y'all are gonna have to deal with this. The light from my blinds on my face. Also, before I start, you know I gotta. Oh, you know I gotta put this on. Got a new mic set up too. Got this from Amazon. Now I'm ready. True YouTuber now. Yeah, after I get curtains. Actually, yeah, after I get curtains, then I'll be a true YouTuber. All right, but Scream 2. It's because I'll talk a little bit about it. It wasn't as good as Scream 1, not even close. It was still an alright movie, you know. It's not. It didn't feel as much like. It doesn't feel as goofy as Scream 1, which is like one of my favorite parts about Scream 1, which was really disappointing about it. They try to take themselves a little more seriously, but I feel like, but still try to keep like the little, the flow of it, just light. But I don't know. I don't think it worked out too well. It was still an alright movie, but let's get into the notes. All right, my first note, I'm excited. I hope it's another banger. I mean, of course, like I didn't think it was gonna be starting off. I didn't think it was gonna be as good as Scream 1. But, this is about how good I thought it was gonna be because it's hard to like they even say it in the movie. Of course, like sequels are rarely as good as the original. This one's it wasn't, but it's still really good. And then my next note, I put like they're really leaning into it being meta this time around, since even in the intro they start off with they're watching the movie, like they're pretty much watching Scream 1, like the characters, like the Scream movie becomes its own movie within the movie called Stab, and they keep they make all the sequels, they're being super meta with the movie. I thought it was a little much. Like I like how like it's all right for a movie to be meta, of course, but like tone it down a little bit. Like they didn't take it as far to be like super goofy or whatever, really dive into it. So it was just like it's like it was just weird. It was just weird. I feel like in the third movie they did it a little better, but it felt like in this movie it felt just a little weird with being a whole series and all that stuff. Like it makes sense story wise, but movie wise I didn't really like it. All right. So my next note. Oh yeah. So we see the two the beginning characters. I don't remember the names. Names don't really matter anyway. But the girl and her boyfriend. So the boyfriend, he gets stabbed in the ear because he's over there being nosy, listening to somebody. Like, what was he doing? What was it? He was like moaning and groaning in the bathroom. Actually, he wasn't doing that. He's crying about something in the bathroom, and then he got shanked in the ear. And then the girl, like right in the middle of that movie theater, like right in front of everybody, she gets absolutely comboed. Dude started doing strings on her. He was like dun 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 dun, like Tony Hawk combo. Is like, dude, bro, like, he was walloping her. She was getting destroyed. And then after she's getting stabbed, she stumbles up to in front of the screen. She doesn't try to get outside or anything, but she goes to the screen, all that stuff right in front of the screen. It's like you don't need to be that dramatic. It truly, it was not that deep. You can go all in front of the screen, and yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know why she didn't even try to get past them to move in front of the screen and all that stuff, or to move to the what I call it main area of the theater. I guess I guess something like that. Thank you, son. So next thing, Okay, then we go back to Sid. It's like poor Sid. Oh my goodness. The first thing she does, she's now they got new technology and all that stuff. So they got caller ID and all that. But people are still getting her number, and calling her about how she was attacked. Like, it's me. What's your favorite scary movie? It's like, golly, she was Sid. Her mom got SA'd and murdered. She got chased by a killer. Her boyfriend was one of the. Actually, she got chased by two killers. Her boyfriend was one of her killers, and then the other one was another one of her friends. And then now she's getting phone calls, prank calls, talking about, do you want to see a scary movie? It's like poor Sid. Oh, like, so unlucky. Like, that's crazy how awful people are in that universe. But my next note, Gail. Gail's still heartless. She still only cares. I thought by the end of the first movie she would have changed. Been a little bit less heartless, especially after like she helped Sid in the end. Or well, I guess she survived a thing with Sid in the end of Scream 1. But it's like she has not changed. She's the exact same heartless person, only cares about herself, and then, like, she did not change at all. Gail's still heartless. And then my next note, guess who shows up after being attacked in the first movie? Dewey do nothing. That absolutely garbage character comes stumbling back, and then we see him over there. He's over here. Sid. You think I'm gonna be happy to see this absolute garbage character? I don't want him on my screen ever again. I do not want to see this man. I don't want to see anybody related to this man. That's how much I don't like him. And they're playing all that happy music and think I'm gonna be like, Dewey, bro, better get the step, and I'm not gonna be happy when he's on the screen. I will not. I cannot be happy if that man is on the screen. Oh my goodness. Thinking I'm supposed to be happy, but okay. And then my next thing, back to Gail a little bit. So she has, we know it like from the story, Cotton. She's the one that Sid accused of SA and murdering her mom. So Gail thinks that, like, just in the middle of her campus, Sid's college campus, she brings Cotton and a bunch of cameras, and then she thinks for some reason in her mind that Sid would be okay with having an interview out of nowhere with a person that she has sent to jail for a year under, falsely accused of murder and all that. And Gail thought she was gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready. What's your first question? Why'd I do it? I didn't know. I thought it was him." And like, what do you think was gonna happen? You really thought she was gonna agree to that? Like, you really thought she was gonna answer the questions and not leave after putting that guy? I'm surprised even Cotton wanted to talk to her at all. Well, actually, it makes sense later in the story. Do want fame bad, but yeah, like, that was not gonna happen. I don't know what in her right mind thought that was gonna happen. All right, my next note. So my next note, I put there's two again. I guess I was right about it, but I'm thinking one of the killers didn't actually kill. At least, what's her name? Billy's mom. I don't think she was actually one of the ones that running around and killing. I'm sure it was like all Mickey. I'll talk about how I felt about it. I didn't like the killers too much either, like the choice of the killers and like how they were shown in the movie. But I'll talk about that a little bit more later. So yeah, I thought there was a two again at the time of watching the movie. And then we get to the little like the sorority house, and then whatever her name is, there's a ghost face in the house with her, running around, like, yo, your door's locked, all the generic ghost face stuff. And then her friend's in the house. She didn't know her friend was in the house. So then, right after her friend leaves, the ghost face calls. What does he say? Oh, I'm not actually Ted. I'm still around. You better make sure all your doors are locked. And instead of, making sure going out with her friend, so it'll be 2 against 1, she stays in the house with after that guy's like been threatening her all night. She stays in the house and doesn't run out with a friend. It's like, there's safety in numbers, especially if you're going against a ghost face, because those guys are made out of, they're like the inflatable tube men. That's what they are, with a knife. Those things, you push them, they're gone. You can you do not worry about them if you try to attack. They won't be doing anything to you. Like, if you put a banana peel like in the next room over, they'll run past you, slip on the banana peel, and then come back and attack you. That's how garbage these guys are. Like, don't worry about them, especially with more than one person. And we see they're still bad at ambushes. He jumps her, he misses, he goes through the chase, he gets her in the end. It's like, it's the ghost face way. You legally cannot be a ghost face and be good at ambushing people. It's not what they do. It's against the rules. All right, my next, and I'll talk about the costume. They can't do both basic motor functions. Is ridiculous. Okay, my next note. I put, the movie. This was like right after Sid was in the house, and then the ghost face tried to attack her while she was in the house, and then the boyfriend ran in to go and help, and then the whole police force was like, all like, you went in, you only got stabbed, that was it. It's like, I get why they're doing it. It's like the same with the first movie, but it feels like a little bit more, like a little bit too much, because we just had like one character that was Randy. He was like, hey, that's pretty suspicious, that's weird. He was pretty much saying that about everybody, and now we got the entire police force like, how's that happening? That doesn't make much sense. It's like, all right, with a little bit theorizing, like, for the characters in the movie. Like, it's good that they're guessing who it is, but it's like, every time something suspicious happens, the movie calls it out. It's like, sometimes, like, let us theorize a little bit. Like, just, I feel like they didn't give it too much to let us theorize about it too much. It was like, a bit much. It was a bit much. And then we see Sid. She actually learns. She becomes a better protagonist, and she gets some protection. What she had? I'm pretty sure she had pepper spray or a taser. It was one of the two. She had one of those, so she's actually trying to defend herself, which is crazy, because it's not like we don't have to worry about any Dewey's not gonna do anything. So, like, he was like, I'm gonna protect you. Then he, of course, he doesn't. Dewey does nothing. So, and then about 46 minutes in the movie, I make my first pick. You know who I pick? I pick Derek and Mickey. That's who I think the killers are. So I got one right in the beginning. My picks do change. So the thing about picking Mickey, I thought he was gonna be in the movie like way more, because he's in, like, other than like the ending, of course, he's in like 3 scenes like the entire movie. When we first met him with Randy in the theater class, then he's at the lunch table with everybody, and then at that party he was there. But by that time in the movie, I thought he was gonna be much bigger figure in the movie, like, because that's pretty much it. He was barely in the movie, but he was one of the killers. Like, I thought it was more Derek, because because he was actually in the movie a lot. It's like, if you're gonna have somebody be the killer and have like a who done it type of movie, you have to give like the guy some more screen time than like 3 or 4 scenes. It's like, I'll talk about the other killer. What's her name? Pep or Billy's mom. It's yeah, she was in the movie a lot, but she was like playing as another character. Either I wasn't paying attention enough, or they didn't explain too much that it was Billy's mom. It was like until the end. So she wasn't really killing, but she was like, I guess, like giving money to Billy. I think that's not Billy, but to Mickey. I think that's what he was saying near the end. So it felt like a little just thrown in, like, oh, we got to have 2 killers, and they're just like, Billy's mom. Yeah, I didn't. Like, I felt the killers like could have been way better. Like, yeah, I don't think they did the killers too well for this movie. Like, or like I know they try to focus on the boyfriend a lot to throw us off, but if you're gonna focus that much, you gotta give us a little bit of something. Like, you gotta put Mickey in there. If you focus too much on the red herring, it becomes like less of a red herring and more you're just trying to, like, I want to say just trying to trick us, but that's what a red herring does. But yeah, I can't put the words to it, but yeah, I hope y'all get what I mean. But my next one. Yeah, and then Randy calls out both my picks, Derek and Mickey. So yeah, that's another thing with the theorizing stuff, but it's not too bad. So I kind of thought my picks were right after Randy said it, but okay. My next note. Oh yeah, this is about Cotton. It's like, I put Cotton needs to back up. I know they would get paid for the TV appearance, but I wouldn't want to be anywhere near someone who made me spend a year in prison wrongfully. So this is in after Sid gets some police protection, and they're in the library, and then one of the Ghostface sends her a message like, "I'm gonna kill you," and all that, the Ghostface stuff. And so, as the 2 police officers are searching the library, going through all the computers, they tell Sid, "Hey, go sit next to the doorway, where people can come in and come out, where lots of people are going down the hallway, and then we're gonna just like not look at you, our person that we're supposed to be protecting, our person that's gonna be attacked. Go next to that doorway, and we're not gonna look at you, but you'll be safe over there for sure." And then Cotton, he tells her like, "Oh yeah, come over here, let's talk." She goes out of the room, like, and then right next to the doorway, and the cops don't notice after they're talking for like a while, like 5-10 minutes, but maybe not that long, at least 5 minutes I'd say, and the cops do not notice that she left the room. And then Khan's all like, "Come on, you gotta come on to the show with me, we can get a lot of money, $10,000, come to the movie." They also try to make Cotton like a red herring. I didn't fall for that one though. That one seemed a little too obvious, but dude was a weirdo though. He's like, "Come on, let's have a movie. Get my name cleared." It's like, yeah, I get what he means, like getting your name cleared, but they caught the killers. Like, what? I wouldn't want to be near somebody who falsely accused me. He wants fame that badly that he'd be willing to do it, but I don't know. Yeah, and then like after a while, he starts getting loud and chases her in the room like, "Oh, Sid, you're the worst," or whatever he was saying about her. And then all of a sudden, now the police are like, "Oh, Sid, oh yeah, the person supposed to protect," and then go grab him like, "Oh, we got you now. You better stay away." He could have folded her 14 different times and they wouldn't even have noticed. Like, I don't know what it is with the cops in this world. They are absolutely garbage at their job. They do not do their job. All right. And my next note is, I have my second guess. It's an hour and 9 minutes in. My new guess is Mickey again, and the cameraman. Like, I don't know why I guessed the cameraman. I guessed probably because, was this the van one? Yeah, I think this was. Yeah. Maybe I think this is about the time like one of the Ghostface was in the van and grabbed Randy in and killed him. So that's probably why I was guessing a cameraman. I never even learned the cameraman's name. I put that down there for like the entire time for my notes, cameraman. But yeah, the camera guy didn't do anything the entire movie. He just filmed. All right. Next one. Oh yeah, so we see Gail starts to get a taste of her own medicine with you know how she's always in everybody's face like right after a traumatic event, like how does you feel that your family died? Oh, so now that you just got out of the hospital for breaking all your limbs, how was that? Oh, it hurt. Oh yes, tell me more about it. Like it's like she does not care. So yeah, the other reporters are all in her face trying to get her to ask all questions about this how the killings are going and all that stuff. She got a taste of her own medicine, and you'd think that would change her a little bit. It doesn't, of course not. Gail doesn't change. She doesn't change. My next note. Oh yeah, we get this little second this little what do I call it? The love story between Gail and Dewey. You know, they started like they weren't together. You know, in the first movie, they were like they wanted each other and all that stuff. Then I guess they tried to date during the movie, but Gail wrote the book about how much of a moron and idiot and how worthless and absolute garbage that Dewey is. You know, something around that area. And then he was like, I can't believe that's what you think of me, Gail. Like you think I'm just like just this dim-witted guy. Yes, it's like that's what you are, man. He'd somehow look in the mirror, Dewey, and tell me that you're not an absolute moron, Dewey. It's okay, but yeah. So I put like they were made for each other. Two horrible characters getting together. Like, yeah. Perfect for each other. And all right. And then I put in my notes, we see like Gail was running away from the ghost face. You know, after Dewey gets like pushed or something, I don't know, he's somehow the ghost face gets past him and chases after Gail. And then there's like a what was it, like a recording studio. Dewey's on one side, Gail's on the other. Gail can't hear him. Then Dewey's on the mic like, Gail, I'm here. And then the ghost face stabs him in the back and it's like, oh no, Dewey, no, I don't want you to die, Dewey. You're such a yeah. I didn't miss him that he died, but then you know he didn't. He came back to life. Dewey do nothing, never dies. Like, it sucks that such an awful character is immune to death, but oh well, can't always be lucky. My next note. Okay, so I make my final guess. This is an hour and 24 minutes in the movie. I guess Derek and the cameraman. So, wait, did I already say that? No, I didn't. So yeah, I guess Derek and the cameraman. So, you know, I completely forgot about Mickey because he stopped being in the movie. Like, he wasn't, like, he was barely even in the movie. So I stopped thinking about him. They kept focusing so hard on Derek like crazy. I feel like they really wanted us to believe it's like it was Derek and Mickey. I feel like that's what they wanted us to believe. So yeah, I put Derek and the cameraman. And this was what really set me off for Derek was because you know in the last one I didn't put Derek. Derek was saying like, oh, when this is all over, I'll still be here. Is that not one of the most ominous things you could say, like in a horror movie? You know, once this over, once this is over, I'll still be here. Does that not sound like he's about to kill her? But he was somehow the good guy. Like they tried so hard to make him a red herring that like they were making like they're kind of making it a little unfair. Like that's like it was kind of ridiculous. Oh yeah, in my next note, I put, why does every officer suck? Both of them got folded by Ghostface. This was like, okay, so the cops, they were driving both Sid and her friend Hal, and then Ghostface, while they were apart, Ghostface busts through a window, and then what does he do to one of them? Stabs him or something, gets him killed. And then the other guy, for some reason he falls out of the car. I'm guessing he gets stabbed. Ghostface throws him out of the car, and then Ghostface gets control of the car. So Ghostface ends up with just a knife, takes down two officers, both with guns. He got a good ambush. He actually worked somehow. He got a good ambush, and then afterwards, one of them, he goes in front of the car with a gun. I see why he didn't shoot, because he could have killed the others. But yeah, he Ghostface took down both of them. He got the jump on both of them. He took down both of them. They both lost. The cops in this movie are absolute garbage. I don't know what it is. I don't know. They're awful. Then my next note. This part was pretty annoying. So they get Ghostface. He's driving all around, and then they get into a car crash. Then they wake up. Ghostface is still knocked out. So Hal and Sid are stuck in the back of the car. They can't get out because it's a police car. The back is locked. So they peel back the little metal bars, and but they had to crawl over the Ghostface. You would think that maybe they would stab him while he's down there. They'd probably go to jail for that, but I don't know. Maybe they could make a case. I don't know. But fine. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, not stabbing him right there or anything like that. So they crawl over him, but before Sid crawls over him, she has the chance to pull off the mask. So she reaches for the mask and accidentally honks the horn and gets scared and goes back. And then she crawls all the way over him, tries to open the door. She can't open it. Hal crawls all the way over him. And then instead of taking off the mask, which would take like 5 seconds, like 1, 2, 3. Like, it would not take long at all to take that mask off of that guy's head. Instead, what they do, they don't try to take that off. They run away for like 20 steps or so. Then Sid's like, oh, I gotta do it. I gotta see who this is. I gotta see who the guy is. Hal's like, we don't go back. What's wrong with you? Don't go back. The fact that they even had to go back was the fact that they even had to go back. And then once Sid goes back, the Ghostface escaped out the window, of course, because it's Ghostface. I guess, runs around the back, grabs Hal, folds her, and then Sid runs away. It's like they could have easily guessed who or taken that mask off. It does not. That one was so dumb. They tried to like cover for it, like, oh, I've got to see it. That was such a dumb scene. My next note, I put, this is the end. I got Mickey right at least, and I put my next note. I didn't suspect the reporter in the slightest. Like, I don't know. Did anybody suspect it? Anybody who watched this movie, did anybody suspect the reporter as being the killer at all? Did anybody suspect her as more as just a reporter or not working with the killer? It's like, I don't know if anybody suspected her, but I definitely didn't. And I talked about how I suspected Mickey in the beginning, but yeah. But that was pretty much the end of the movie. They have they have the little fight scene on the stage and all that stuff. That was that was fine. That's cool. So my next note, I put sequels are rarely as good as the originals, like I said before. Um, so yeah, I feel like Mickey wasn't in the movie enough. I suspected him in the beginning, but I thought he would. I thought he would be around like way more. He seemed like like sort of like um, I guess like Randy in the first movie. He wasn't there like the entire time. He wasn't like the main focus, but he was always there. He was always popped up a few times in the background. He was always around. He wasn't just like gone. That's what I thought Mickey was gonna be like, but he wasn't like that. Um, yeah, if I feel like they would have given the killer a little more screen time for the overall the movie, it just didn't feel as fun as the first one. Like, and also with the killers didn't feel very guessable, especially not the reporter. I don't know. Maybe y'all would have guessed her, but I don't think she would have been a guess for most people. Um, I feel like they took the movie like way more seriously than they did the first one, which was kind of disappointing. Like, I feel like the little the unseriousness was like a big draw of the movie for the first movie. Um, like for the first movie, I felt like it was like one step away from scary, maybe like one step away from scary movie. Scary movie was like absolute, just like mostly a comedy. Maybe like a few steps away from scary movie. There's funny moments, and then they still try to scare you, but I feel like it was good balance. This movie is like they they still try to make it a little. They still try to a little bit on the comedy side. Having stab being a big part of the movie. Like having the movie be a part of the movie. That something like that. It's yeah. It's like they still had it, but I feel like it wasn't as good as the first. The comedy of the movie. And my rating for the movie, I gave it a 7 out of 10. It's like it's not a bad movie. It's just like not a bad movie at all. But I feel like it missed what was great about the first movie. Um, yeah, so that's how I felt about the movie. Um, I feel like the killers weren't great. The killer choice wasn't great. They could have been in the movie way more. But yeah, that's about it. So my next one is gonna be Scream 3. Um, got to get into that one. I'll say right now, I did like Scream 3 more than Scream 2. Like, but we can see that later. So, all right, then that's it. So, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye bye, bye.